The shortage of armored vehicles and the constant threat of drones have led to significant delays in evacuating wounded Russian soldiers, causing significant logistic problems and resulting in a lack of medical personnel. This is according to a report from the UK Ministry of Defence. Recently, Russian media outlet Astra reported that dozens of wounded Russian soldiers staged a protest in Novosibirsk after inadequate medical treatment. Soldiers from the 41st Combined Arms Army of the Central Military District reportedly complained about mistreatment by their unit commander and refused to return to the front line without proper care. They are said to have smashed windows and damaged the barracks, with 10 fleeing the compound. British intelligence mentions that the lack of armoured vehicles, coupled with the ongoing threat from drones, has caused delays in evacuating wounded troops. This almost certainly increases the risk of more severe injuries and higher mortality rates among those who are eventually evacuated through the medical system. It is almost certain that this scale of casualties continues to strain the Russian military medical system at all levels of medical care, causing significant logistical problems and resulting in a shortage of medical personnel. These problems will likely persist for at least the next 3 months, the UK Ministry of Defence predicts. The British Ministry of Defence also cites data from the Ukrainian General Staff, which states that since February 2022, Russia has lost over 700,000 personnel, with approximately 500,000 of them wounded. Earlier, NATO Military Committee's chairman, Admiral Rob Bauer, stated that Russian ground forces are now larger than they were during the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, but their quality has since declined. According to him, Russia no longer poses the same level of threat to NATO as it did in February 2022. President Vladimir Putin has issued a decree to increase the size of the Russian army by 180,000 to 1.5 million people starting the 1st of December 2024. According to a source in the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the Russian grouping in Ukraine currently has about 574 to 575,000 personnel. Moscow wanted to increase its number to 690,000 by the end of this year, but primarily due to heavy losses, they failed. Currently, an 11,000-strong group of North Korean soldiers is stationed in the Kursk region. In total, the Russian group in the Kursk region now numbers 59,000. In Kursk region, the Ukrainian armed forces are waging a war similar in tactics to the actions of partisan detachments, and thanks to this, they are confronting an enemy that is 10 times larger in numbers and control a considerable territory. This was stated by retired Major Alexei Getman, a veteran of the Russian-Ukrainian war, on air at Kiev 24, commenting on the dynamic and maneuverable war of Ukrainian forces on the territory of the Russian Federation. The enemy is trying to engage our units because they outnumber us by 3 to 10 times. It is pointless to engage in battle somewhere in a field or in a forest without fortifications with an enemy that outnumbers you by 10 times. This is why we avoid it. It can be compared rather to a guerrilla war. It is not a guerrilla war. It is simply a tactic similar to the actions of guerrilla units, the military expert said. According to Getman, the Russians are unlikely to be able to fulfill the order of the head of the Kremlin, Vladimir Putin, to recapture Kursk region by January the 20th, 2025, unless they significantly increase their forces there. This is not the first task that Putin has given with the deadline for liberating Kursk region. It was before October the 1st, before November the 1st, before the new year, then before February the 1st. Now they have adjusted it to January the 20th. Will it work or not? We hope it will not work. With the forces and means that the Russians have there now, I think it will not work. If they involve some other forces, then the advantage will not be 10 times, but 20 times. Then there is no particular point in Ukrainian forces holding on there. However, he does not rule out that the Russian Federation could increase its forces in the Kursk region several times. Getman explained the importance of returning these territories for Putin, calling our control over Russian territories a significant trump card in the event of negotiations to stop the war. That is why Putin is very serious about such a stretch. He will throw in all additional forces. I think that the fighting in Kursk will intensify, and it is quite possible that the Russians will add significant forces there. There may not be 45,000, but 100 to 150,000. Because for Putin, it is extremely impossible for our military to remain on the territory of the Russian Federation during a possible truce, Getman said.
Ну вот она в жопу прилетела, бля. Все сгорело. Последняя буханочка, бля. У минометчиков. Пиздец. 2 FPV, бля. Вон что. Запаска догорает, нахуй. Да, да. Целые, бля, смотри. Стекла вылетели от удара. Сиденья, блин, сгорели. Фу, блин. Чё? Колесо? Нихуя себе. А двигатель что? А, двигатель, радиатор, блядь, расплавился, нахуй. Пиздец. Как-то так, бля. Пролетела вот оттуда. Фу, бля. Чё?